Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome, welcome. Podcast episode number 99. Can you believe it? This is so super exciting, and I'm really thankful and grateful and blessed every day to know that you are a part of my journey and this journey, and that you continuously show up. Some days are easier than others though, right? Some days life is just too busy. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. I honestly didn't realize how much I let other people's expectations control my calendar. And what I mean by that is every single thing that is in your calendar, you have agreed to put there, right? You have agreed. I know there's going to be some things that feel like there are non-negotiables, family responsibilities, whatever that looks like. But the majority of the things in your calendar, you have said yes to. If it is not serving you or if you're doing too much, today's episode is going to bring you so much clarity how to make things differently, how to do your calendar differently, how to say yes to what's important and how to say no to what's not important. Because when you're saying yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So you ready? Let's get started. We're going to talk about being too busy. Yeah. How often have you said, I'm just too busy. I want to do that, but I can't. Or I can't add one more thing to my plate right now. Or I'm exhausted or overwhelmed. Mainly because you have overscheduled yourself. That's what it boils down to. You've overscheduled yourself in areas of your life that don't bring you joy. So if it brings you joy, it's not going to feel like work, right? So if it brings you joy, you're not going to feel like you're busy. You're just doing whatever. Who cares if you're busy? But if you're filling your calendar with things that don't bring you joy, it's a trade-off. I mean, either way, it's a trade-off, but it's a trade-off that you're not going to enjoy as much. So here's what it looks like. My definition of busy. When you've overscheduled yourself. That's it. Simple as that. There's no fancy ratios of time or looking at your commitments. If you feel too busy, you have simply said yes to too many things. And, part of it is we believe that we can do more than one thing at a time. We believe that we can have multiple priorities. And the fact is that's not possible. Instead, we should have one priority for different areas of our lives and focus on those. Now, I like to fill my time up with a bunch of different things, but I have one priority. My priority is to live a happy and healthy life. That is my goal with life. Recently, I've done a lot of shifting in terms of my business priorities and my mindset into where I want things to go, thinking that they were the solution to what I was looking for. But that was not the case. Once I cleared room in my calendar, the world opened up for the better. So it's cool to fit things into your calendar of bits and micro, so I say bits and pieces or micro assignments to yourself of things that you find interesting. It's fun to see what people are doing. It's fun to participate in some of the different workshops. But when you focus on putting in your calendar activities, movements, things of interest that make the needle move towards your dreams. And you all know I like to talk about meals, movement, mindset, your relationship with money. And that's the key. Those things all are foundational points that come together as one unit to help me with health and happiness, right? I want to live a happy and healthy life. That's my goal. I plan on being here until I'm 100 years old, healthy and happy. So because of that, I fill my life up with things that bring me a huge priority. So what I mean by bring me a priority is something as simple as things that bring me happiness, things that bring me joy, things that bring me closer and closer to my goals. And they could be micro steps. I've learned the hard way that things on my calendar were actually other people's commitments. Things I had said yes to because I was curious and I wanted to learn more, but it became more of a priority to them than it did for me. You know that, right? How many things have you said yes to and then it just became like a weight on your shoulders? and you didn't want to take action in that area at all. So it just sat there and sat there and sat there and added on to the responsibilities of things that you needed to do, but it wasn't in alignment with who you are. So years ago, all I did was run to, not physically run. I mean, I did that too, but I mean, run my head off like a chicken. So you run to work, you run around getting the kids ready, get in the car, grab your lunch, come home, get all of this running around stuff that I didn't have as much time to sit and relax and enjoy things. Even now, I struggle with sitting and relaxing and enjoying throughout the day, or I used to struggle. I've definitely made some strides and some improvements in that area. 100%. Because that's what I want my calendar to look like. Peace and fulfillment. So in the past, I would make time for family and children and work, and that's it. We're going back 10 years ago, a little bit longer than that now. And those things are obviously still a priority to me, but there's so much I do differently now. I unplug every single night. I think about what I want to do throughout the day, and I weave in as much fun or downtime as I can throughout the day as I am integrating towards my personal goals and working with clients. Because my calendar is my life. I don't want to wait to the weekends to crash and burn to live my life. Jay Shetty said it perfectly when he did an episode. I don't even know which episode it was, but I can access it. I do remember what it's called. But why is it that we are putting so much time into everything else that truly doesn't matter during the week? So we can live for 2 days on the weekend, but we're too exhausted. We're too worn out. We're too tired. We're too overwhelmed to do any of that living on the weekend the way we want to. So then we'll take a big break and we'll go away on holiday or vacation, spend more than what we need to. I know you're nodding your head because we're looking for that balance every day. So when it comes to, the feeling of being too busy and overwhelmed, you've created a life for yourself that you need to escape from. What we want to create is a life that we don't need to escape from. You don't need to do anything else. You don't need to go anywhere. So before we go too far in today's episode, I want you to think about right now, grab a pen and paper or let your mind wander. What do you wish you had time for right now? Think about that. I'm just going to pause right here. Think about that. And I'm going to leave a couple thoughts here in a second for you. What do you wish you had time for? Fishing, knitting, reading, hiking, coffee with friends, family. What does it look like? I know for me this weekend it was a little bit different. My oldest daughter was super sick. So on Saturday morning at 3 a.m., I got a phone call to go over there and help her. And then my mom and I helped and surprised her by cleaning up the house. And when she came back from the hospital, she's been in bed for the last 2 days. So my mom and I have been sharing custody and helping out with my grandson. So us helping Hudson and helping Megan, doing whatever it takes, has definitely changed what was going to happen over the weekend. And I still wanted to get the house clean and have everything look fantastic for when Tony and Nathan came home yesterday. This was a bit of an exception, but I did what was a priority to me. On Saturday, my mom and I went out with Hudson. We spent the day just being together. And that is one of the things that I wish I had had time for in the past, was more time for my family. And now I make it a priority. It is in my calendar. It's something I look forward to. Not every day. I know myself, in order to get through my day to day, I need to have something fun to look forward to on the weekend. Some sort of mini getaway, some sort of time with my girlfriends, something, even with Tony, to look forward to. It doesn't matter what it is. It works for me. Remember, listening to these podcasts are going to help you get some ideas to work for you. So, think about what it is that you want to add to your calendar. Now, think about where social media has an impact. I know when I am not doing things on social media for business, there's a rabbit hole that I sink into, which is fine. On the weekends or sometimes during the week, I like to block a little bit of time to just sit and relax, go outside and go through my phone. I might be working, I might not be working. It doesn't really matter, but I'm getting outside, I'm recharging, I'm getting the fresh air, or I'm sitting on the couch. When you don't obsessively check your phone or your social media contacts, your channels, it leads you to conclude that you can live your life your way. It really does. You're not worrying about what anybody else is thinking or doing. You are completely creating and living your own life. So what would you fill in that space to bring you joy? The same thing for emails, right? You really, really don't need to say yes to everything. You can skim your emails. You can hire a VA to look at them if they're that busy. You can spend 5 minutes a day. That's it as quality control, and get rid of the emails that you don't read so they're not blowing up your phone. You can definitely do that. You can have 12,000 unread email messages in your inbox and just look at the ones that matter. You don't need to spend your day cleaning it up if it doesn't serve you. You can prioritize them. TV. What's your TV like? You know, we don't watch TV with our kids or our family very often. Tony and I watch the show together at night. That's it. About 45 minutes a night we watch TV. I know he'll watch a little bit more TV during the day at lunchtime, but that's the way he has his lunch. I don't watch TV at all unless I'm not feeling well or I'm really, really tired. So when you think about that, there are going to be tipping points in your life that are going to make your teeter-totter not balance. So think of your life right now as a teeter-totter. And during the weekdays, it's on one level, and on the weekend, it's the other level. So you're trying to find that balance throughout the work week. However, what if we can find that balance throughout the day where you're not going to both extremes? You're not going to be so tired. You're not going to be so full with everything that you have to do. So when it comes to watching TV, have yourself a reason to watch TV. Are you recharging? Are you just watching a show to relax? Are you watching a show with your husband on date night? Because TV is a time theft. When you fill your time with time thefts like social media and TV, you are taking away from something else, which means you are going to be too busy. Right? If you have time to watch hours of TV every night, friends, you have time to meal plan. You have time to get some healthy food choices ready in the fridge. You have time to look at your finances. You have time to get a workout in. You have time to work on your mindset. I'm not saying you can't watch TV, but what does it look like for you? If this episode resonates with you, which it probably does, or you wouldn't have listened to it unless you're a binge listener, like I can be sometimes, and I'm doing other things and I just end up on an episode, cool. If that's how you made it here, cool. But the fact is, we're 13 minutes in and you're still here. So there's something speaking to you. There's something that you want differently. I am too busy no longer wants to be a part of your life. So let's change that. Let's be conscious about where we're spending our time. And that's a great exercise this week. Take a look at your physical calendar and then jot down where you're spending your time throughout the week and how those activities make you feel. Because we're going for the feeling in this world. We're not necessarily going for the action items. And I know some days you're not going to feel like doing certain things. But it's the big picture feeling that you're going for, like health and happiness that I'm going for. I love my energy level. I love being, so invigorated by life itself and the people I meet and the things I do. So I don't spend a lot of my time just killing time. A little bit of it, yeah, but not a lot of it. Then there's the ops. Other people's stuff, that somehow you have managed to say yes to, that has taken time on your calendar, but more time than you realize, because maybe there's work that needs to get done before you jump into it. It doesn't matter what it looks like. The fact is, it's on your calendar. So other people's stuff can land on your calendar. And when that happens, it can be heavy. Heavy in terms of dramatic, heavy in terms of high energy, but maybe not in the right place. Time commitments. Remember, you're not able to get back time. We're able to get back money, but we're not able to get back time. So when you're thinking of your calendar, when you're thinking of busy, when you're thinking of knowing now that you can certainly create the life that you want to live, are you living that life right now? Are you working towards it? Or are you still stuck in the, I have to. There is no life I want to live. I just want to get through the day. Either way is okay. I'm here to let you know that more is available to you. Because you're going to look at your calendar. You're going to be so rushed that you're going to realize that you're crashing and burning. It's an ebb and flow that's not working for you. And believe me, every single thing I share with you on these podcasts, I have lived through. I've made it through the other side. And that's one thing I didn't learn until this year is we are our calendar. So if I don't want to be busy anymore, if I don't want to work full time anymore, if I don't want to do something anymore, I need to look at my calendar and see if this is in alignment with where I'm going with my life. And yeah, it might be a great idea to take an extra course or take some training, but if you're not in alignment with that person, it's going to feel hard. And why do we want to add more hard to our plate right now? We're coming out of a season of heaviness. And I'm not saying we're done. It's hard to say where the world's at right now because we're only hearing what the world wants us to hear. And our true experiences are different than everybody else's. So let's look at now that we've looked at some time wasters and we've understood that we are in charge of our calendar and whatever's in our calendar is things that we have said yes to. So where do you fit on that calendar? What are you saying yes to that is for you? It's probably not as much as it should be. Do you have a morning routine in there? Do you have bath night in there? You want to look at the 80-20 rule with what has to be done and what you need to do, especially when it comes to making changes. Work is another example of something that can take up a lot of time. We spend more time in work than we do anything else. We are commuting, but we need this to survive, right? Right? And then what happens? We go dedicate ourselves 40 plus hours a week to the grind, whatever it looks like. And then what happens? Oh, they had to change the plans. Oh, they can't pay their bills. Oh, they can't make it through the pandemic. Oh, whatever. Or something happens in your life and you're overwhelmed and you're stressed and you have a breakdown. And then what happens to your job? And we're not going to dig into this very much, but when it comes to work and money and income, we are in a society where we need anywhere between 3 to 7 sources of income coming in. Think about that. If you are too busy now, how are you going to come up with the resources to take care of yourself so you can take a step back? So it's hard to do by yourself because you got yourself into this and it's not working for you. You just said yes to a bunch of things. So you're continually going to say yes to a bunch of things, hoping to find the right answer. But that's not how it's going to work. You actually need to be coming from a different mindset. A different mindset means thinking differently. And when you start thinking differently, it's going to be a lot easier for you to make the changes that you want to make in your life. If you are self-employed, you still need to turn down things. You still need to look at your schedule. Actually, even more so, I don't make any decisions in my business or personal life without looking at my calendar first. And I actually use a Google Calendar because it goes cross-platform. It's exactly what I need. And if there's ever anything that goes on, it's all on my Google Calendar. It is my life. So look at your calendar. Does it look like your life? Does it look like you want it to be your life? Is there time in your calendar for you? Reading, downtime, back time, your morning routine, your affirmations. What we put in our calendar is what we're saying yes to. Is fun in your calendar? What? It's not? Why not? Do you only have fun when you go away? Are you too busy working at home to put any fun in your calendar? You need to change this. You really, really do. We're not taught to have fun in our day-to-day life. We're taught all work and no play. But that's not going to work at all. That's going to put us on the extremes of the teeter-totter, and we're looking for balance on that teeter-totter. So how do we fix the busy? How do we fix too busy, and how do we do less?
It's going to be easier for some, harder for others, because we're making changes, and change is never easy. And we've gone through so many different changes. And maybe we have kids and other responsibilities and some things we just can't get rid of, and we don't want to get rid of those things. We just want to make it look different. So if you want to be feeling less busy, you will have to get rid of some of your commitments in your calendar. We can't do everything all of the time. And look at this as a season. I revisit my calendar all the time, but look at this as a season. We're heading into spring. Think of what season we are in your life. For some people, this is tax season. You are not coming up for fresh air until May. That's fine. You know that. You can work on the other 9 months of the year for adjusting your calendar with the full understanding that this time of year is crunch time for you, right? But for everybody else, that this isn't, like, think of your season. What do you have going on in the next 3 to 4 months? Put those in your calendar. What birthdays do you have? What expectations? What responsibilities? What prior commitments do you have in there? Now, fit in your downtime, fit in your fun, fit in your routine. I am going to highlight a couple of important things that should be on there. Work. So if you work for yourself, you might want to include some things like writing, customer service, brainstorming, product development. Health should be on your calendar. Eating healthy, exercise 3 times a week, stand up more. Playtime. Do more art, spend time with your kids, walk your dog. Now that's a great one because it counts on both. On my calendar, every day I have a Walk Hannah and Gizmo segment. Once a week, I have a bath time segment. I have date night on my calendar every single night. So learn a new skill. That's a great way to play. But whatever you choose to do with your time is what you should be doing, whether it's for you or for somebody else. It's amazing to me how many people think that they know what is best for you. You know what is best for you. You might want some help managing your time. You might want help putting different ideas into place. But you are the one that knows your life and your schedule the best. And you know right now what's not working. It's not working if you're feeling too busy. I am so happy and grateful and thankful now that the words too busy, besides on the odd occasion, don't slip out of my mouth anymore. There's a few things I'm thankful that have changed. Can't, scarcity, lack, too busy have all been eliminated from my vocabulary, but it doesn't happen overnight. And this is where working with a coach or having an accountability partner will make a difference. Because you are the only one living your life. You are the only one who can spend time living your life. So you are the one that needs to build your calendar. Again, you can do it with help, but these are your commitments. So have you ever thought to yourself, there's no way I can get everything done? Or you feel like you're constantly behind the 8 ball at home and at work? There's probably a reason for that. Most small business owners and entrepreneurs are trying to cram 20 hours of work into an 8-hour day. You know who I'm talking about. Those people definitely need to change their calendar. So what I'd like to see you do is work on it this week. Work on what's different, what you'd like to be different, what your not perfect, but what your future self life looks at. Because whatever you choose to do, you're saying yes to. And when you're saying yes to that, you are saying no to other things. So what are you willing to say no to? All right, my friends, make it a fantastic day. I would love to hear what you're doing. And the next episode is going to be episode 100. So stay tuned. If you like this post, please go ahead, like, share, comment, follow on your favorite listening platform so we can get more and more people hearing this. Thank you.